Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to European Truck Simulator, and welcome back to somewhere in Wales. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So let's get rolling. And we're gonna have to go to across to Ireland, Northern Ireland. I don't want to mix the two up. I know it's not the same thing, but I don't know my cities that well. So we're going across to Belfast, I want to say, which I believe is Northern Ireland. If I'm wrong, I do apologize. So we're going across to pick up cargo because there's nothing on this side heading up to the area that we want to go to. So we're going to go... Actually, we have to deadhead just a little bit even to pick it up. A couple hundred kilometers. And then our trip will be about 500 kilometers. We may or may not do it all in one, sir. We may or may not do it all in one video. I've been doing a lot of split videos, but I wanted to do this in daylight, and it's 1 in the afternoon, and I was concerned that if we went to sleep, when we woke up, it would be like 10 o'clock at night, and we'd do another night video. We've done too many of them lately. Let's drive in daylight. Let's see the world. So what is going on? I did go ahead and get Beyond the Baltic Sea. And you can't see it. It's overwritten by pro mods. And even if you could see it, we're in the UK. We're nowhere near Finland. Or Latvia. Or Lithuania. Or Estonia. So, yeah, man. It's just one of those things. And I guess that leads into something I want to talk about later after we really get rolling. But, yeah, gaming, man. It's a fascinating hobby to have. So Beyond the Baltic Sea, slow it down. Beyond the Baltic Sea is in ProMods, is up and running. It's supposed to be a new ProMods compatible with Beyond the Baltic Sea in the next couple of weeks. Looking forward to that. Also on the Grimes website, I did see a comment from Grimes, his very own self, saying that there will be patches for some of his various weather mods within the next few weeks. Fantastic. I'm really looking forward to getting late autumn, early winter in again, and then we won't need a weather mod when we go to Iceland, obviously, because it's just all Icelandy. But then when we get back, as soon as we get back, because I want to go from here to Iceland, do a couple trips in Iceland, and then from Iceland to Scandinavia to Bergen. And as we come off the boat in Bergen, I would love to have Frosty running because it'll be proper winter by then where I am. So nice to know that will be fixed. Different mod makers, they have different attitudes and different presentations. And of course, obviously, everybody's entitled to be themselves. No two people are the same. But I really like mod makers that have not just good support and good follow-on, but that seem to have a good attitude and really seem to enjoy what they're doing. I know there's some mod makers that really kind of snap at people and, really kind of like lured it over all of us that they are the mod makers and they do this out of the goodness of their hearts. And while I recognize that is literally true, nobody argues with that. Hey man, if it's not cool, if you're not enjoying yourself, then you should stop doing this. Don't be mean, don't be yelling. There's no need for that. So Grimes seems like, I don't know the guy, but he seems like a nice guy. And it's a subtle mod, it's nothing that like really jumps out at you. But it really, we want to go over here. This is where I hit that guy last time. Oh, there goes my voice. Straight away, there goes the voice. Now we want to go over here. Yeah, we do. What do I need, like whiskey and lemon or something? What's going to fix that? I don't know. So that is what's going on. What else is going on? Farming Simulator is coming along. I know, there's quite a spectrum. I'll sim anything, man. I really will. I just love simulation gaming. I'll sim anything. But I know there's some crossover because there's some people in my world that watch my truck vids, and they're like, yeah, man, really like your truck vids. And I'm like, what do you think about the farm vids? And they're like, never seen one. Doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, that's cool. And the same with, there's train vids, there's racing vids. It's like different people have different things that they like, which is totally cool. No two people are exactly the same. But what's funny is, how do I want to say this? Like, as different as the videos are, as different as the sims are one from another, I feel like I'm kind of simming them all the same way, playing them all the same way. I don't know. I think I am. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Farm Sim is coming along, and if you're not into those videos, I'm not suggesting that you should be. If you've never seen one, check it out. If you've seen one and you didn't care for it, I understand. It's a bit of an acquired taste. Ooh, man. It's like all sim gaming is kind of weird, but the farming one is like the craziest. Ah, okay. This is also, now I don't know if this is built into Pro Mods. Okay. All right. I don't know if this is built into Pro Mods. Yeah, it looks like it is because I'm not even seeing it down there. Okay. In the 1.33 patch, there is now a feature where there used to be random road events, but now there's like actual road closures and you need to calculate and reroute. And I don't know if I've really seen that yet. I think maybe I saw it in I think maybe I saw it in ATS, but I can't tell because it's one of those subtle effects. And those, to me, those are the best ones. Those are things that really are immersive and really make a sim come alive. But the thing about them is you don't really hardly can notice them, you know? It's like very under the radar, close to the vest. But that is a part of 1.33. And I like that. I feel like, well, and this sort of ties in with FS19. I decided to start an FS19 map and record it, and I decided to play on the hardest difficulty. And if you don't know FS19, you can make money farming, or you can make money through missions. Well, here's the problem. You can't really make money with farming, but you can make money with missions, and so therefore you have to make money with missions. So the hardest difficulty really isn't that hard at all. Here's how you beat it. Don't farm. Just do missions until you have like €1 million, and then buy a small farm and subsidize it won't be profitable. It'll run at a net loss, and you just subsidize it with missions. Okay, that's not hard. Okay. So I feel sometimes like ETS and ATS, as much as I love these sims, and I really, of all the sims that I play, I feel like these are the ones that I have the least to complain about. And you know me, I can always find something to complain about. I feel like these give you the least to complain about, or at least me. And if there were anything, it would be that, hypnotic as they are, they can get a little stale. Really, they can. But the idea that you would need to, recalculate a trip in real time, I think is awesome. I would like to see, and when I say these things, I'm not like suggesting that the developer run out and change it or fix it or anything. I'm just thinking out loud. But I would love to see an option where you could reach out to your customer and let them know you're going to be late and maybe renegotiate. I don't know, something like a reduced rate. Something. Maybe. I don't know. So you're not actually late even though you're late. Oh, you're late, but you're not late. What's going on up here? What's all this about? That seems, there's been a bit of a smash up. Okay, that happens. Right. Now I'm going to pull up here and read this little sign. I believe, are we going to this side? Cargo port, that's us. Just confirming trucks. Trucks go over here. Perfect. Now, looks like this side. Okay. And as always, I'm hoping my dolly trailer fits into the collision box on the ferry when it spawns us into the new scenery. That seems not right. Should I have gone over there? Maybe. There's no hole. If I went to the, yeah, I had to go there. Okay. If I went to the right, there's no gap. Oh, that new physics is really cool. It's definitely more assertive. Is that a good word for it? Yeah. It throws the truck around a lot more. I kind of like it. Engine is off. Here we go. Dublin. Just checking my cities here. Okay, so we are not going to Northern Ireland. We're going to Ireland proper. We're going to Dublin. For some reason, I thought we were going to Belfast. And we may still be. I mean, I know Belfast is not on the coast, but you know what I mean. All right. There we go. Okay, we didn't glitch through a wall. So I'm going to, because the game sometimes gets out of sync when it has to reload, I'm going to do something here. It's a little bit weird, but just bear with me. So we want to say marker. Okay. So now, calculating. I think it can't really calculate until we move. Oh, you're kidding. Going on 7:30. We're going to be driving in the dark. Oh, game. Those are not my lights. Those are my lights. Still calculating. It's okay. You take your time. I think we need to get out of the deal here before it gives it to us. Maybe. There it goes. Okay. So what was I talking about before all that excitement? What was that? What's his name again? Oh yeah, just adding things to the game that are very subtle, that really sort of fly under the radar, but that really add a lot to the game. And I feel like things like, you know, roads being closed and having to recalculate and reroute, I like that. And what I was saying before, that didn't make sense. I'd like to see it integrated so that it can be planned a little bit more. So your route right now, there's no overlay to show you where on your route, like if you're going the speed limit, there's no overlay to show where on your route you'll need to sleep so that you can designate the places that you want to sleep. And I don't know that real drivers would do that. I think real drivers would calculate, okay, you know, based on my allowable hours, the DOT in the United States, Department of Transportation in the US mandates how many hours drivers can drive in a row, how long their rest periods have to be. Then you need a longer rest period if you go over your hours, and it's a complicated algorithm. So when a driver is laying out a route, and I know Qualcomm will do a lot of it for you, but when a driver is laying out a route, they need to figure, okay, you know, if this is where I want to sleep, then I'm going to stop here, even if I'm not necessarily tired, or even if I'm not over my hours yet. I'm going to stop here because the next place to sleep, if I try to push it all the way to there, will definitely have me over my hours. So I would like to see a feature. I don't know, maybe there's a mod already, but I don't know about it. But I would like to see a way to plan your trips a little bit more in depth before you get started. And I can't see the light. Let me see. I'm going to try to back up just like one. There we go. To plan the trips a little bit better is what I'm getting at. That's what I'm trying to say. So, what else is going on? I told you I did not get Ride 3. And I've seen some not so good reviews. And I've also seen the reviews that I have seen, a lot of them have said this is more like an arcade game than a sim, which is disappointing for me because I am playing MotoGP 18, which is also by Milestone. And that to me is very much like a sim, but Ride 2 it really is kind of a game. And that's fine. Sometimes games are fun. Right. Turn this off. Put her in neutral. Set the brake. Here we go. And we're going to Newcastle. Yes, we are. Right. So I think we can get it in there. Can we not? Yeah, I think we can. And the other thing I saw in the reviews and some of the notes is they've added some motorcycles, but they've pulled motorcycles out of Ride 3 and put them in a paid DLC. And people are like, what? Why would you do that? You know, these are bikes that we know and love from the first one. Why would you do that? So, could be a cash grab. And, you know, I feel like we're getting to a point where as consumers, we can say that and not have to worry about hurting anybody's feelings. I know when you point out that something may be a cash grab, when you point out that a game, you know, not done, not very good, or, you know, needs work, or how could this possibly have been tested? Farm Simulator 19, I mean, day one, it was so buggy. And they really hadn't even done a whole lot to it. To me, it's just a graphics tune-up and horses. You know, a couple new features, maybe not. I mean, it's really, to me, it's really not a very different game. It runs on the same engine. It has exactly the same problems. The pallet physics, the bale physics, the log physics. You know, it's more or less the same game. And yet it was still full of bugs. And I think, how's that possible? How is it possible to take a game that has been out for long enough that it's relatively bug-free, reskin it, and end up with it all chock full of bugs? That's crazy. That is crazy. Now, why does it have us... I'm going to check the map at this light up here. We didn't go the wrong way, did we? Because it's got... Moment, please. No, that's right. Okay. All right. So, X out of here. So it does happen. It does happen that game developers just, you know, they just slam dunk something because they want your money or they need your money. And I think it's okay for us as consumers to say that now without, I don't know, not worrying about hurting somebody's feelings, but I guess because the community tends to split and you have, you know, fanboys on one side and everybody else on the other side. And also because I try to be a positive person. I try to be a nice person, and I'm reluctant to say like, oh, okay, these people intentionally did something kind of nefarious just to get my money. You know, that's not a cool thing to say. It's kind of a heavy accusation to lay on somebody. You stole from me, basically, is what you're saying. And that's one of those things where, you know, as an adult, as a citizen, you always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. You say, well, you know, maybe they just ran out of time. Maybe they whatever. No, not always. Not always. There's times when something feels like a ripoff. And, you know, if it feels like a ripoff, it very well may be one. And it's okay to say that. And I feel like we're getting to a point as a community where, and I know there's always been a fringe in the community that is just like smack talking everybody and they hate everything and everything is just terrible, terrible, terrible. I don't mean them. I mean people sort of in the middle. People like me that are willing to give the benefit of a doubt, but at the same time getting to a point where you can look at something and say, no, that's a cash grab. That one doesn't feel right. So we'll see. I'll get it when it goes on sale. That's the great thing about Steam is shifting. It's the great thing about Steam is if you like something but you don't like it that much, just wait till the price matches how much you like it or how confident you are in it. And, you know, that's okay. I think that's perfectly reasonable. And I think it sends a message to developers also when they're setting their pricing. There are always going to be people that buy something the day it comes out and pay whatever the price is. And I think we can communicate back to developers when we sort of not resist, but you know, if they price something at $50 retail and it doesn't get good reviews, although for the most part It has got good reviews, but you know what I mean. I think that sends a message to the developer for next time, like, maybe 50 is a little steep. Maybe we back this down a little bit. Right. Oh, I've got some information about Shadowplay as well. Speaking of, the reason I mention that is I'm like watching my little icon, my little record icon down in the corner intently. Moment, please. Marker. Right. So the reason I need to do that is, interesting. Okay, normally I shut everything down like a good trucker. And I forgot that as soon as we pick our destination, it's going to send us on our way. Oh, beautiful. And here's the new rain. I love it. The rain really is, it's very good looking in this game. Or in this patch. In 1.33, the rain, I think, and that's another one of those small things. Like, rain, who cares? But it makes a difference, man. It really does. If you want to be immersed, as I do. And, of course, it's a night video. Sorry, folks. I really am. Not doing this on purpose. All right. Welcome to Wales. So we go oh, hang on. Moment, please. We don't do this no more. That's not how we get down. So this is what I learned about Shadowplay. I've been having some blurring and smearing and pixelation in FS19. I had it sporadically in FS17, but it seems to be more consistent in FS19. It's really, really bugging me. Basically, the foreground will be rendered very crisp, but the background will be rendered all like 480p resolution. It's terrible. And what I found was, so Shadowplay's a toy. I know it is. But it works for me. And it has zero impact on FPS, which is fantastic. Now, it does record, they say, directly from the card, and it's hardware accelerated, so damn straight it has no impact. It better not have any impact. It's not the best. You can see that it's sort of designed for kids, and it's part of the GeForce experience, which is awful. It's just an advertising platform. And I really don't like that the two are bundled together, because it's like, hey, if you want to use the only cool thing in this app, you're going to have the whole app running. But so it goes. If you want something for free, sometimes you got to pay for it. So there are some good things about it, but it is kind of a toy. It ain't OBS. I really wish I could get OBS running, but I can't. I mean, I can get it running. I'll tell you about that in a second. So let me check my gear here. There we go. So what I found out about Shadowplay is it's got really terrible lossy compression, which is one of the reasons that it runs so fast and has minimal impact. Is it's very lossy, and you can record lossless in something like OBS, and that's why I want to get OBS going. And yeah, you probably heard me mention this, but I had OBS running for a while, and it was working pretty well, and I was at 1080p 60 FPS, and then something happened. It updated, and my settings went all wonky boo-boo, and I was never able to get back that love and feeling. I've lost that love and feeling. I was never able to get it back. So that's cool. That happens. But I've tried everything. I've tried Bandicam. I've tried MSI. I've tried Action. I've tried, there's a couple others. Can't think of right now. I've tried everything. And I think it's just my system is not really powerful enough to render it at 1080p and capture at 1080p other than Shadowplay, which has its limitations, to say the least. So I know that. I'm working on it. Although I was just about to go get I was just about to go get Elgato the other day. They had one in stock down at my local Best Buy, and I know I could get this stuff on Amazon and have it sent right to the front door of the Airbnb, but I don't know, man. Something about like holding something in your little hand, in your little paw, just appeals to me. So I was just about to go get one, and I read some reviews, and for some reason, don't laugh, for some reason, I didn't make the connection that the 60 HD in the name indicated 60 FPS high def. For some reason, I thought that was a 60 gig hard drive. I thought that there was 60 gig of flash drive in the Elgato, and that when it captured to its own internal flash drive, and then you did something with that. And that is not the case. It's got HDMI out, and it's got USB 3.1. So it's capturing the HDMI signal, it's encoding it, and then it's sending it back in, or maybe it's not encoding it. At any rate, it's capturing off the HDMI, and then it's sending it via USB to somewhere. Ideally, it's sending it to another machine. So you're playing your game, you're playing your sim on one machine, and then in between the two you have your Elgato, and then it's sending it to another machine. Well, I do have two laptops, but what I call my utility laptop is not powerful enough. It's got to be like i7 quad core or something, and my utility laptop is a few years old, and it's not powerful enough. You can USB back to the machine that you're rendering on, but then it really beats it up. And I figure if my machine is not powerful enough to do the things that I'm trying to do with it now, I certainly don't want to add another layer of tasking to it and think that it could be, you know what I mean? If it's not strong enough now, it ain't going to be strong enough after I ask more of it. So I'm glad I read that at the last minute. Because for some reason I did not get that. And also on Elgato, it's not the greatest on laptop, because it wants to send the signal to another monitor, and you can do essentially you're sending your signal. You're telling your video card that you're running two monitors, one internal laptop monitor, and then the other one is your HDMI monitor, which in this case is not a monitor at all. It's Elgato, but your machine won't know the difference. It will think it's a monitor. But there's some lag and some loss, and just you can end up with a delay. You can end up with a delay to your own laptop screen and various other things. So really glad I didn't go down and do that. It would have been about a $170 mistake. And it's one of those things that, you put it in a drawer. Oh, that's cool. I'll use it when I get my upgraded system. And ideally, when I get my upgraded system, when I get my new system, everything will just kick down one row, and the system that I'm gaming on now will become my utility laptop, and then my Wii Lappy, although it's not Wii at all, it's got a giant screen on it. It's a really nice laptop. It's just a few years old, but it's not for gaming. It's built for everything else. That will, I don't know what I'll do with that, because it still works great. It still does everything that I needed to do. It just does it kind of slowly. I don't know what I'll do with that. I think I might, make it my laptop that I take outside. That's something else that's funny. Laptops were designed to be portable, but they're so nice now and so expensive that I'm sort of gripped about taking a laptop outside the safety of my home. You know what I'm saying? So the idea of taking a laptop to a coffee shop, it's you think it'll be all right? Will it be safe? Will somebody spill something on it? Will it get broken? So maybe we'll make the utility laptop, the current utility laptop, the one that we travel with. I don't know. So either way, Elgato I think is a good fit, but it has to be a good fit in very specific circumstances. And I read that at the last second. Had I not read that, that would not have been cool a few weeks before Christmas to be throwing away money. Now, granted, I'd be throwing it away on myself, and that's never a bad thing, but you know what I mean. Got to be frugal, yo. So, gaming is farming sim, racing sim. There's a new build for iRacing coming out in December, and it's going to have dynamic day-night cycle, and I am very, very excited about that, even though I have not spent a lot of time in iRacing lately. That is very, very cool, and that is one of the things that myself and a lot of other people have been saying is missing from the sim, is that dynamic day-night transition. It's going to be awesome because there's so many endurance series on that sim. I'm amazed that they waited this long. Although iRacing's I think they're pretty in tune with their customer base, and because they are all multiplayer, they have to be. So I feel like they listen really well, and if it took this long, I would like to think it's because they did it right. And from everything that I've seen, I think they did it right. I'm excited to play it, and I will once I get my wheel. Oh man, it's crazy living on the road. It's crazy having everything you own in a storage locker. It's the weirdest feeling. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's very strange. Going to your storage locker, it's like going to a tiny little store that only sells things that you really, really like. It's like that's all they got. It's just stuff that you would buy because you already did. So I'll get my wheel back. But what's weird is, so when I started this, and you probably know this too, if you watch the channel, you've probably heard all this before. I got back into gaming a few years ago after having been away from it for a while, and the goal from the beginning was to be portable because I spend so much time on the road. So I can't necessarily have a big rig. So laptop, gamepad, headset, and there's some other things now that I guess are kind of required. I got a Blue Yeti mic. I have to have a hub because I have so many USB peripherals, and I have a G13 panel that's pretty small, and that's really it. I mean, if I want to, I can fit all of my gaming stuff into my 22-inch FAA certified carry-on bag. I have to take some clothes out. I lose a few things, like as far as, you know what I'm saying? Socks and undies. But I can fit it all in there. So that's pretty portable. The wheel, obviously, is not portable. But then there's this weird crossover, this weird dilemma, as it were, that as big as my wheel is, and I have a Thrustmaster TMX Pro, a decent wheel. It's not, I don't think there's anything pro about it, but it's a decent wheel. It meets the needs currently. But it's not portable in any way. So it's strange for me to think that, I actually am portable as long as I don't bring with me the things that aren't portable. If that makes sense? Yeah, I think that. So as big as that wheel is and as not portable as it is, then when I am in a place where I can bolt it to the desk or whatever, like a hotel. I was at a hotel for a long, long time, and I actually had the wheel on the desk. And what's funny is you can't really game in an office chair like that. I mean, it's got wheels on it, right? So, and I've got the load cell simulator on the brake pedal and everything. You really have to mash the brakes. It's got a nice feel to it for a $350 retail wheel. It's got a nice feel to it. It's not quite a toy, but it's also not, I don't want to say not feasible. Like, I remember the day when we had, our wheels were the first, I guess, gaming wheel that I saw. It was like this little plastic thing. The wheel was about 6 inches across, and it was on a post, and it had these two little flaps on the bottom that you put under your thighs. So you sit on the couch, or you sit in your beanbag or your love sack or whatever, and you basically grip this thing with your thighs, and that was your steering wheel and two little plastic pedals. What did we know? We were kids. But wheels are much more sophisticated now, and the sims that we play them on are much more sophisticated now. So the idea of playing something like iRacing with a little plastic wheel that you hold between your legs, it's unthinkable. So you sort of need to be bolted down, and the idea of, you mash on the gas and your chair goes flying backwards. It's just, So what I finally came up with when I was at the hotel is I took the box from the TMX Pro, it was just the right size, and I put it under the desk, put the pedals on top of it, and now your pedals are in front of you rather than underneath you, which is how they are. And even when you're in a passenger vehicle, and certainly when you're in a race car or an F1 car, the pedals are not underneath you. They're sort of in front of you. So that got the pedals in front of me, and then the step 2 was to find an area in the hotel room exactly the right depth, and I found one between it was like a little dressing area by the bathroom. And if I put the desk and the box with the pedals on it up against one wall, and I put the office chair up against the other wall and lowered it as low as it would go, the back of the office chair was pressing against a wall. But that was really, really contrived. And I got lucky because that distance was just right. Had that distance been like 3 inches more or less, I mean, if it was 3 inches less, my knees would have been up on my chin. And if it was 3 inches more, I would have been reaching out with my tippy toes to hit the pedals. So I just got lucky. Bottom line, you cannot game in an office chair. You just can't. They move. That's no good. So it's one of those things where, I wish I had my wheel, and then if I had it, I would be like, I can't really use it. So we'll see. Is there somebody over there? Yeah. Man, the surround sound in this game is, I don't know if it's always been this good or if I'm just noticing it, but I've got a 7.1 surround headset, and you really can hear the vehicles coming up from behind you and on the proper side. Like, you can hear them. I totally heard that guy or woman, could be whoever it is. I totally heard them coming up behind me on the left. It's a nice little detail. So yeah, man, I think that's all I got. Gaming news, simulation news. Yeah, that's all I got. Also, I can tell you that, no, I can't tell you that. No, that's totally wrong. Never mind. I cannot tell you that. Well, it's not that I can't tell you that. I'm not teasing you. Like, I know a secret, but I cannot tell you. I don't mean it like that. I mean, what I thought I was going to say is not accurate, not valid. So we're coming up on, really? All right. Let's get her slowed down. So we're coming up on 40 minutes, and I will start looking for, I guess we don't need a place to sleep. Man, this happened when where were we going? We were going from Bayonne to Plymouth. This happened where we just ended up all out of sync, right? Like, I tried to start in daylight. Ended up, we started our trip proper at like midnight. And now here it is morning and we're going to sleep. I don't think we need to sleep though. We do need fuel. Let's get fuel. We'll pull over and see how we're doing on sleep. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. And what we might do is same thing we did Bayonne to Plymouth is I'll just stop at the rest stop, but I won't sleep. And when we pick it up next episode, it'll be same time rather than the following morning. Right. Feel me up, partner. And I'm going to try to time this so we get to Inverness hopefully right around January 1st. That is the plan. And we will get into Iceland for, hopefully we'll be there for all of January. Well, maybe not all of January, but all of Iceland will be in January. And then from there, we'll go to Scandinavia, maybe like third week of January. And we'll be in Scandinavia in February and March. Maybe. Oh, Jesus. It's just all falling apart on me. Like a minute from the end of the video, I just took that kind of damage. Did we bang up the cargo? Did we? Whew, cargo is okay. I'm sorry, folks. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I swear, like, I've always made, like, little mistakes like that, but I swear I'm becoming dumber. I really hope there's nothing wrong with me. Right. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of European Truck Simulator. Hang on for a minute. That's not the one I want. Oh, see, now I got to do this because... Will it let me sleep if I just do this? Oh, we don't even want to sleep. Never mind. All right, no. Just forget I said the last 5 minutes. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of European Truck Simulator 2. And we'll see you next time. Take care now.